Hey, how's it going?
Not bad. That dog just makes me giggle. That's so funny. Such a cutie. Come on, big puppy. You're so funny. So anyway, this stuff was luckily all kind of in the front on the shelf, so it wasn't bad to get to. So I kind of brought a
Oh my gosh.
little bit of variety here.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so Lou Hortons. And I misspoke. This isn't a 66. This is a 686, 357. Okay, but touch as much as you want. I mean, you're not going to hurt anything. Feel free to handle. So, and I brought that because, and I've got several of that configuration. That's a 22 Magnum. But in the mid 80s, the full lug combat stocks was their marketing ploy, stainless steel. And they made them in 22 long rifle, 22 Magnum as well. And that's really, they didn't sell well at all. So, but that's the square butt versus the round butt too. So, and I've got a couple of them in 22 long rifle, but they're just not often seen. So that's why, and that was right in the front, so I grabbed it.
Heft of that.
I love the full lug in the combats.
Yeah.
They fit me really well. And there's some other models too that have that configuration. The Model 14, the Dash 5 is a blued 6-inch combat stocks full lug. It's a sweetheart, 38. They're a chunk, aren't they?
I'm telling you,
They're hilarious. That's why when I started buying them, I kept my eyes out and tried to fill the whole set. And I still like the 45. And I had one. I was too dumb to buy it years ago. I had one in my hands.
So that's the 44 Magnum. Mm-hmm. This is the 44 Special.
Right. Odd, huh?
That's gonna be 5.
They're all 6-shot.
All 6.
Yeah, because they're all end frame. Well, yeah, those 3 are end frame. The 686 is L frame, of course.
Wow, what a treat. What a treat. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. I knew you'd enjoy them. So, what good are they if you never get to touch them, you know?
That's right.
I'll bet you from shooting 41 Magnum for many years like I have, I'll bet you that 41 throws more fire and noise than the 44 does.
Oh.
Because they just bark so bad.
Wow. What a beautiful collection. This is your 14?
No.
Or oh, 57.
Yeah. I don't have a presentation case for that one. My other ones are all asleep in a pile of lumber, so.
Man, oh man. Like you said, what's the use of them if you can't get them out and slobber on them every once in a while?
Yeah, there's the thing. You don't touch them very often. I acquire them and study them and clean them and wipe them down and stash them, and then forget about them the next day. It's like, well, I got, it's like a kid at Christmas time. I got Christmas morning out of it, right? So,
I bet this is a ball to shoot.
I like the 22 long rifles better.
Yeah.
I've got a pair of them, And you know, because it's 22 long rifle, not Magnum. And yeah, they are a blast. You know, there's no recoil. I mean, they're so heavy, they just, you know, pop. And they're of course really easy to shoot well, you know, on a score target. So, and this version they make in 4-inch and 8 3/8, and I have none of them. That's how scarce they are.
Wow.
Yes, if you ever come across a 4-inch or 8 3/8 in that full lug stainless combat stocks, that's a real treat.
Now, what year span did they, or are all these different?
I mean, I'll give you the kind of the story. These guns are all mid 1980s,
Okay.
and they made the end frame guns clear up into the late 1990s. They started calling them like the 629 Classic, the 657 Classic. And if you look at them, they have the same stock almost, but they're a lot more flat on the sides. So these very rounded, bulbous profile stocks are all mid 1980s. And that's when, okay, here's another part of this whole Lewis Horton deal. These would all be sold as Lew Horton guns. They're not necessarily all Lew Horton guns. You have to have a letter from the factory to tell if it's shipped to Lew Horton. Because when Smith made a run of, like, they made 5,000 of these 624s, okay, Lew Horton didn't get them all. They had their stocking dealer program. So if you're one of their big dealers, you could buy these guns. The smaller dealers couldn't. Okay, so to prove it's a Lew Horton, you gotta have a factory letter. So you'll see it on the internet, Lew Horton this, Lew Horton that.
With letter.
If it's got a letter. If it don't have a letter, eh. But the thing is, even ones that I know aren't Lew Hortons, because you can tell by the dash number and sometimes by the serial number range, people don't seem to care. They'll pay just as much. Now, if you got a lettered Lew Horton 657, it'll bring a couple $100 more than a non-lettered one, probably. But you know, so it's kind of a little bit of a game. You know, who cares who it's shipped to? Really? You know, I mean. So anyway, that's kind of the deal with them.
I like the grain in that wood right there. That's
yeah. It's all the Goncalo Elvies, which is the premium wood for Smith & Wesson. You know, the cheaper guns got walnut, and the good guns got the Goncalo. But
okay. So somebody comes up or something happens, and in this case, you got to choose one.
yeah, what am I going to do with it once I choose it?
Well, I'm just saying, no, you got to choose one. You only get to keep one.
Oh, I got to be honest with you, none of them are special to me. They're just guns I bought as an investment.
I understand
and
that.
I like, you know. So, out of this case, if I had to keep just one, regardless of value and things like that, I'd be hard pressed to turn down that 22
The
Magnum
22.
you know, because I'm always an accuracy over firepower kind of guy, and that 22 Magnum has plenty of both for whatever you would need it for.
Oh, I bet.
You know, so I don't know. You know, some of this stuff. I mean, these checkered stocks. You ever shoot these with full house loads? After about 25 rounds, your hand is raw for the checkered stocks. They suck. You know. So I don't know.
Like you said, I know the bark is there, but I still bet that is really fun to shoot.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, and I've shot the 357 and 44 special. I haven't shot the 41 or 44, so. All right. Well, I'll get out of your hair so you
Hey,
can go to work. So,
thank you so much for
You're
bringing
welcome.
those by.
That's all
That's
right.
definitely a treat.
just fun stuff, huh?
I'll be right with you, folks.
No problem.
Legacy?